Hello everyone and welcome to Create Update 6 Post-Production. Today I'll be walking through the update, telling you all that there is no high logistics, and all the other lovely QOL that was added in this update. So, let's get into it. To begin us off, we have packages. You can come in 4 different shapes and sizes, and hey, wait a minute, that package in the middle doesn't seem quite... Oh my god, it's a player in cardboard armor! Cardboard armor lets you disguise stuff as a package when you shift. This lets you slip by mobs completely undetected and even cross under one block gaps, like so. Quite a handy little feature, though it does lack the durability of stronger armor such as diamond or netherite. But that's fine. We also have a cardboard sword, great for backing your foes around with a satisfying little thunk, like so. But it does not do any damage. So nice little weapon, anyways. And now, see the recipe for this we have right here in these mechanical crafter grids. They're made using cardboard in the shapes of normal armor, and in the shape of a sword, as one might expect for the sword itself. But how do you make cardboard? Good question. You make it like so. Let's see, we have water in a basin with a mixer. Drop some saplings in, or sugarcane, or really most vegetation, and that makes pulp. That pulp can be pressed into cardboard with a press. Nice and easy, there we go. You can see right here, there's the pulp. You can see you can use sugarcane, bamboo, any sapling, even modded ones. All works quite nice and easily. Up first on the High Logistics roster, we have the packager. You can attach it to any sort of inventory or container like so. And then we just put some items in the chest, not spawning, because I don't want any unintentional husk spawnings. And then power the packager with redstone, and boom, you get a package containing up to 9 slots of the items in the attached inventory. You can right click to throw the package, break it, and drop the items. Or you can shift right click to deposit the items into your inventory. Alternatively, you can place them in the packager and have them deposited into the chests or attached container instead. Now that we've addressed how packages work, let's clear that board and move on to the next thing. We have addresses. Nice little chest here. I'm going to put some items in it. Say, I don't know, maybe an oak log, for example. This will be able to go in our package. Then I'll take this stone button, this oak sign, and these package filters. I will place the stone button on the packager so we can activate it and put the sign. And I'm going to write test on it. That'll be the package address. Then I'll take the package filters, separate them into 2. Put this one as test 1, for example. You can do anything else you really like. And then the second one, actually, let me just place that in there. And the second one will be test, which will match the address of the package. So now if we just activate this button, the package will be created. It'll go into the tunnel, and look, there it comes out on test, because that is what we filtered for. Now that we've addressed package filtering, we should probably address the frog in the room. Well, you'll see. Now let us clear the stage again, and moving on to our next thing. We have Frogports, as well as chain conveyors. Frogports are these little guys here, and they allow us to interact with chain conveyors by placing packages and taking them off the chains. So let me just grab a chain and a chain conveyor. You can see if I just place it on the ground, one here, connecting with chains. Very nice, very easy. Then if I just put this away, and then we put some items in this nice little barrel here, I can then activate the packager. The Frogport will take it and put it on the chain. And just like that, the other Frogport will grab it. And you can see the items have ended there. Now this Frogport has the address catches packages addressed to destination, which is what's on the sign there. So if I take this package, for example, the one that's addressed to test, and put it on the chain, you can see it just swirls around endlessly because it has no Frogports that it'll wait to, because packages will automatically pathfind across the chain link network to get to their Frogports. Up next on the roster, we have centralized storage. So we have a vault here and a chest containing some specific items we'll need, mainly packager, chute, items, stock link, Redstone Requester, and button. I will place the packager here, the chute below it to extract packages from it, and a stock link on the side. You'll see the packagers turned green, indicating that it is now connected to the stock link network. I can link the Redstone Requester to this network by clicking the stock link, and now this Redstone Requester can request stuff from the vault through the packager. So let me open up the menu and request, say, 2 stone buttons. I will say that it must send all items, and I'll set them to send to me. Why not? And then we'll just click this check, and then power the Redstone Requester, and there we go. One nice package filled with buttons. But what if we don't have the items on hand that we want to request? Well, what do we have in the vault? We have some depots, wrenches. We'll go with wrenches. I can look in here, put some wrenches, say I want 3 of them, and there, we can now request items from JI, but it didn't request because we don't have any stone buttons in the vault. So we'll just allow partial orders, and there we go. There's our package containing 3 wrenches. And there you go, basic system for centralized storage. And now that we have that done, let me just clear inventory, break these 2, and we should move on to the other items in chest: the stock ticker, place burner, item hatch, white seed, chicken egg, attribute filter, and item list. Or list filter, apologies. The nice little item hatch is a quick way to deposit items into a storage interface that's attached to you. Also, if you would by clicking, or alternatively, if you put any items in your inventory, you can shift right click to deposit all of your inventory, so be careful with that one. Then let us just bind a stock ticker to the network and place a place banner or a seat with a mob next to it. In this case, I'm going to be using a seat with a chicken. Instead, chicken gets a little hat. It is clipping to its head, but that is because of the mod that I'm using that changes the chicken models. So it should be fine for you. Right-clicking the stock keeper opens up this menu, which shows you a list of all of the items in your vault. You can now click on them and scroll on them in order to request that they be sent to a specific address. Clicking send will send a package with those items to that address. This essentially allows you to have a centralized storage system that you can access manually and have them sent to wherever you need, presumably some sort of barrel or chest or something. But they're not very organized. It's kind of annoying to have them all jumbled like this. So let me grab some random items out of here. Oh dear, some package building up. And then I'm just going to break these. And this is when the filters come in. So first I'm going to open an attribute filter and place a clutch in. Was added by create? Yes, that's what we want. I'll add that attribute to the list. Allow list of any, and check. Then let me just separate out these attribute filters and put one in here. We'll call that create for the category name. And go back to the stock keeper. Look, now we have a category for all the items added by create. Very nice, very handy. Now let's try another attribute filter. This time with, say, this armor piece. And we want is tagged C armors. So this will be all our armor. And then we can just add attribute to the list. Sorry, let me just clear that and then add it so we don't have the create tag from earlier. And then we can just add that, the attribute filter, to the categories. We'll name that armor. Then we'll check the stock keeper again. After we put this channel just by it. And look, there's our armor. And if we were to add any more armor of a different type, also goes in the same category. Quite nice, quite handy. What about list filters? They work much similarly to as you'd expect them to. Grab some specific items, say some wool, and open the list filter, place 1 diamond, 1 blue wool, 1 black wool, and allow us, and we'll add in a wrench for example purposes, so you can see what happens when an item is in 2 categories. Place it in like before, and then we'll name this category very important things, or items, I guess. Why not? And there, I'll just clear these. And so now, you can move these up and down to organize how they will appear in the menu. Now you can see, very important items. You'll notice the wrench is not in here because it's not in the vault. But if we add one to the vault, the wrench does not appear in the very important items category. It appears in the create category because the create category is higher in the list. And you can collapse and open categories like so. Ignore the fact that it's collapsing R1. That's just a bug with the version of what I'm using. It shouldn't be in the main release. Up next on the roster, we have tablecloths. These handy little blocks come in a variety of colors and will allow you to display any different sets of up to 4 items or blocks that you might like. Beyond their use in decoration, tablecloths also serve another purpose, that being capitalism. By taking a tablecloth, say this one right here, and then clicking on a stock keeper with it, you can set up to 9 items that you'd like to sell and a location to send them to. I'll configure it, place it on anywhere you'd like, and then you can set a price by clicking on the slot on the side. I will set andesite casings, and how about 10 of them? Why not? Then any player can come up and click on it to get a shopping list of all the items that they have clicked, tablecloths that they've clicked on so far, and then click on the stock keeper with enough items to pay for the cost, which will go in the stock ticker, and then those items are sent out to wherever they can collect them. Alrighty, and up next we have postboxes. Postboxes work a lot like Frogports, except for trains instead of chains. Let me assemble this train here, and you can see this red postbox with the red address has dropped a package addressed to yellow in the train, because the package address does not match red. So if I then drive this train over to yellow, you can see that the yellow postbox now has that package inside of it, those 9 stacks of netherite, and it's dropped off the package for red of 1 poisonous potato, as is customary between friends. And now, once the train drives back, there we go. And now we move on to the true beast of this update, factory gauges. Let's clear the scene. Oh, there's a train still. Well, let me show that you can do /create trains, and then you can just click remove, and that'll kill the train. /kill doesn't work. So we have a basic setup here with a vault as our main storage, some random items in it, item chute to put items in, and that leads out into a packager and a barrel. And you can see here that there is a factory gauge on the packager. So as soon as I take these sticks out of the barrel and wait a second for the network to update, you can see a new package is sent containing 16 sticks. And if I take 8 sticks out and wait a second, you'll see new package sent containing 8 sticks to fill it up to 16. So this gauge, if I now place it back in the packager, linked to the network, and then give it sticks, will automatically refill the barrel with 16 sticks. So I want it to look for, actually, let's go with 20 sticks this time. So it's missing a target address. So if you right click it, we can set the items to the address. What's the address on this package, on this filter chute? The stickler. All right. So let's just set the stickler as the address to send it to. We don't need promises because there is a 100% chance that the items will get there. Promises basically mean that if an item hasn't gotten there after a certain amount of time, then it'll send a request again. Useful for stuff that has a chance of success, like certain recipes. And there we go. Now our barrel is constantly maintained with 20 sticks. When a factory gauge is placed on a packager, it is in what's called restock mode, where it keeps the packager's attached inventory restocked with a certain number of items from the network. This item vault is filled with andesite and connects to a packager, connected to a chute, into another packager, into a basin with a mixer above. So if I get some iron nuggets, and then we put those in the vault, that will allow the system to make andesite alloy. Although first I just need to swap this motor around so the belt spins the right way. So let us take a look at the gauges now that they're placed on a non-packager surface, in this case a wall. We have a gauge for andesite alloy in a recipe mode, which is sending andesite and iron nuggets to mixer, and it's expecting to get 1 andesite alloy back for every one of those sent, which is what the recipe is. So if I just rebuild this by tuning it to the network, placing a gauge there, putting an andesite in it, and an andesite alloy in it, and then putting another 2 gauges, one for andesite and one for iron nuggets, as that is the recipe we'll be using. And then we have, once we have those placed down, we can open up the menu, and we can click Add New Connection, and we'll just add a connection there, and then we'll add a second connection there. So these are the ingredients for our recipe. Now, you can use a wrench, like so, to toggle the connection type, or the connection mode, to whatever. It's just aesthetics, it doesn't make an actual difference, but yeah, like this. So then we shall send these ingredients to mixer, right? And then now we'll make sure the recipe is correct. We can save it and close, and then we can hold and say we want to keep, let's see, 10 in storage. So it says in progress, but there's no iron nuggets in the vault, so we'll put those in there. And now we can see a packager is outputted. That packager contains 1 andesite and 1 iron nugget. Put in the mixer, and that gives us 1 alloy. And we still haven't met our goal, so it's going to do it again. And again, and again, basically up until it reaches 10 andesite alloy. So this is how you make setups that can automatically craft ingredients when it falls below a certain threshold by sending ingredients to be mixed, to be processed, to be smelted, smoked, washed, whatever, when you need more of them. Now this will take a minute, so let's just jump to the end. As you can see, the bar has turned green, indicating that the ingredient results have been met, and let's move on to mechanical crafting with gauges. The next feature of the factory gauge comes when they're paired with a set of mechanical crafters linked in the back using a wrench. As you can see, a similar arrangement to before, but instead I am crafting pickaxes which cannot be made in a mixer. Once a factory gauge detects that the valid ingredients for a recipe are present, you can click Use Mechanical Crafting and it'll arrange them in a grid like so. I'm sending them to the crafting address, which goes to this crafter right here. You can see all of the crafters are linked together and are being inserted to by packager. There are sticks already in the vault, but if I put some diamonds in, a package comes out, and look at that. Gets inserted in the crafter, where it's crafted into a pickaxe automatically. Then I just route that back into the vault, and we have a fully automated process for crafting items when they fall below a certain amount. This can be linked, as before, any number of times to make any number of recipes in a big chain. So let's show you how to set it up as soon as this craft is finished going. There's our last pickaxe, and onwards onto the... As before, we will need a factory gauge for the output and for each of the ingredients, and link to the network. So let me grab a diamond hoe in this case, which is what we'll be crafting, and then the ingredients, which will be diamonds and sticks. So place a gauge for the output and for the 2 ingredients. Put items in. You can also use JI for this menu here, but I have the items on hand, and then you can connect them using the Add New Connection button. Now the output gauge has detected, oh yeah, you can toggle the path as before, but now the output gauge has detected a valid recipe, so we can click the Use Mechanical Crafting button to arrange them into a recipe. Then we'll send it to crafting as before. So Frogports, for example, could carry it over to your mechanical crafter setup, and I want to keep 3 in storage. And now that that has happened already, it has process begun because we have less than 3 hoes in storage. So we'll start making more of them automatically. Now, this process is quite handy for allowing you to automate all sorts of goods that you might want in your factory, just with these gauge setups here, and can expand so outputs of recipes can be linked as inputs for another recipe. But now for a question, what happens if the ingredients being sent come from different locations? For example, these 2 barrels right here. One is sending the diamonds and one is sending the sticks. Well, we are currently putting them in the same chest before we craft them, and then the repackager allows us to combine those packages into one, so that when they're inserted into the crafter, they are capable of forming the correct recipe. So you can see we have one package go into the same address with all 3 ingredients, now that we've powered this repackager. Additionally, you can just keep it constantly powered like you would a normal packager to ensure that it is constantly packaging all of your stuff and sending it into a crafter. Although repackagers themselves cannot insert directly into a crafter, you can route them as into another packager which will, so it should specify. Alright, so now that we've covered setups for full mechanical crafting using gauges, we have nothing! That's right! That is all there is to know that I can teach you about high logistics. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to check out the ponders if you need more information, and everything in this video will be timestamped, so check out the links in the description to download Create Update 6 out now. Thank you, and have a great day.